Good morning from Hong Kong. Good morning from the Four Seasons. We are here outside this morning on our first day in Hong Kong. Taking it a little bit slow. My brother Nick, who's sitting behind me, just got in last night. We actually have a fantasy hockey draft going on right now, so we had to be online for that anyways. So we figured might as well take it slow out by the pool this morning. It's a beautiful day here in Hong Kong. The skies are blue, so cannot complain. Four Seasons, obviously, the facilities here are spectacular. This pool, the pool deck, very spacious, very welcoming, very luxury. So we're having a good time out here this morning, taking it slow, like I said. And yeah, welcome to Hong Kong.
I'll tell you what, chilling at this pool deck at the Four Seasons sure wasn't a bad way to be welcome to Hong Kong. Even though I could have very easily stayed out here all day, we eventually made our way out to explore the city, with our first stop being the Wong Tai Sin Temple. This temple was erected in the mid-20th century in honor of the Taoist deity Wong Tai Sin, also known as the Great Immortal Wong. Legend has it that he gained immortality after 40 years of seclusion, during which he developed the ability to turn stones into sheep. Today at the temple, many come to seek out spiritual answers through a traditional fortune-telling practice called Cow Chim. It has evidently been so successful that the phrase "what you request is what you get" has become synonymous with the temple itself. Chinese influence can naturally be found all around Hong Kong, but by no means does this capture the true essence of Hong Kong's identity. For those who may not be aware, Hong Kong has quite an iconic history as being a pawn between two greater global powers. Allow me to oversimplify this history a bit. For most of the 20th century, Hong Kong was actually a British colony, and it was acquired in 3 separate tranches from China as a result of the Opium Wars. In the early 1700s, Great Britain, by way of the East India Company, began trading en masse with China. They initially sought goods like porcelain and silk, but as time went on, one commodity stood out above the rest.
And it was here, in this land of China, they discovered the herb which was to become the homely comfort of our life.
The Brits loved tea so much that by the middle of the century, that was pretty much all they were trading for from China. However, the Brits didn't have much of value to trade with the Chinese besides silver, and eventually their silver reserves ran low, which became a problem. So with tea demand at an all-time high, they did what any major imperial power would do, and started smuggling drugs. They would illegally smuggle opium by way of British India into China, exchange it for silver that they would then use again to buy more tea. Eventually, the Qing emperor caught on and naturally wanted to put an end to this illegal trade. So they seized 20,000 chests of opium that were chilling at the port and dumped them into the water. The Brits, as expected, were not happy and launched a war over this, which we now know as the Opium Wars. The Chinese were really no match at the height of the British imperial and naval powers, and in a series of peace deals, the Brits eventually came to control this piece of land off of China's southern coast. The last portion of this land, known as the New Territories, which make up 86% of present-day Hong Kong, were leased as part of the treaty for a term of 99 years. Now, the Brits at the time effectively viewed 99 years as forever because they figured that was a long enough period for development to make the territory indispensable. They also kind of figured that China would never become strong enough to take it back anyways. But as time went on and the British Empire withered away, it became increasingly clear that they were not going to be able to impose their will on China to keep the territory. The Sino-British Joint Declaration was signed in 1984, which stipulated that the entirety of Hong Kong would be given back to China at the end of the 99-year lease in 1997. Although only the New Territories were leased for 99 years, by the 1980s, Hong Kong Island, Kowloon, and the New Territories were so economically and logistically inseparable that it was not practical to split them up again. China was also insistent to reclaim all of it back to undo what they viewed as the unequal treaties, which in their view sent them into a century and a half of humiliation that could only be erased with the return of the land back to its rightful owner. The handoff took place with much pomp and circumstance on July 1st, 1997. The agreement states that Hong Kong would exist as a special administrative region and would be able to continue to practice capitalism and political freedoms that are forbidden on the mainland for a period of 50 years until 2047. This has since been dubbed the One Country, Two Systems framework. This model has persisted to this day, although China has continued to erode some of the promises they made in this declaration, which has caused quite a bit of civil unrest since the turn of the century. And it's anyone's guess what will happen come 2047, but that's for another time. The point I want to drive home here is that while the territory is now technically part of China, it's been less than 30 years since the handover, and British colonial influences can still be seen everywhere too. For example, they drive on the left side of the road, you can see tons of London-esque double-decker buses driving around the streets, and a lot of the street names still resemble Old English namesakes. Another one of these lasting influences that still remains today is, ironically, afternoon tea. Afternoon tea here in the iconic Peninsula hotel lobby has been a cultural staple in Hong Kong since the hotel opened in 1928. Today it represents a fusion of the city's colonial past with its modern day status as a high-end luxury destination.
Good morning once again from the beautiful Four Seasons. As stunning as this view is, today we're actually getting out of the city. It's our last day in Hong Kong, but we want to get active. We want to be one with nature, so we're going on a little hike today. Actually, I wouldn't consider it a little hike. It's an 8.5 kilometer hike called Dragon's Back Trail. It was actually ranked in 2019 by CNN as one of the world's 23 best hiking trails. It's a beautiful day. It's sunny. It's supposed to rain a little bit later, so we're hoping that we avoid the weather today. But yeah, getting active. Time to go.
I'm here with my cousin Nick and my Kia's Jake, and we are hiking Dragon's Back Trail. There's a Dragonback's Mountain. Not sure, but we're feeling great. We had some nice morning supper at the Four Seasons. We're all lathered up in sunscreen, got some water, got some snacks, so I think this will be a great hike. I agree.
The ever-popular Dragon's Back Trail is located on the Shek O Peninsula along the southeastern coast of Hong Kong Island. A popular way to hike this trail is to do the full length of the Dragon's Back itself, which is about 2-ish miles, and then continue on another 2.5 to 3 miles down to the beach at Big Wave Bay. This is the route that we decided to embark on today. The first mile of the hike consisted of a lot of elevation gain as we made our way up to Shek O Peak.
All right, mile one update, and it appears we've made it to the peak of the Dragon's Back Trail. We have some great views up here. It's a beautiful day. It is a little bit windy. The breeze is very nice. It's helping with my excessive perspiring. The sun is also getting rolled over by some clouds as well, which I appreciate. I forgot my headband, or I left my headband in the Uber on the way here at the trailhead, so I was pretty upset when I realized I didn't have that anymore. But it's okay, we're surviving. Mile one is done, mile two on the way. Let's go.
After we reached the peak, everything was pretty much just downhill from there. No, like literally, it was actually pretty nice.
Mile 2 update. We are officially done with Dragon's Back Trail, and now we are walking on this flat terrain to the beach. I'm sweating. I lost my hat. It's in my bag because there's so much sweat on it. But yeah, weather's nice. Got a nice overcast. Let's get it to mile 3.
As Nick mentioned, this latter half of the hike on the way to the beach was fairly flat and a lot less strenuous. And it also had a ton of shade cover, which was certainly a welcome combination in this Hong Kong heat.
Mile 3 complete. I'd say we're all pretty damp. We've been cooking these last 2 miles. It's been pretty flat. I believe we're all looking forward to take a dip in the water to cool down. Cheerio.
All right, 4 miles in the books. We're at the home stretch here. Big Wave Bay is just 1.5 kilometers down these steps and out towards the water. We're all still a little bit sweaty, so the beach is calling our names. We're very excited to get down there. I don't know if we'll hit 5 miles. We'll see when we get to the end. Either way, we're almost there. Let's go.
One final descent later, and we finally made it down to Big Wave Bay, which, as to be expected, was bustling with beachgoers. We wasted little time joining in on the fun.
Alrighty, well, as you can see, we made it to Big Wave Bay, mile 5, end of the trail. I'm ready to take a dip.
We already took a dip.
Yeah, but they don't know that.
Is this a before? This is a before dip clip?
Are you still rolling?
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, mile 5, Big Wave Bay. We've made it to the end of the trail. I'm ready to take a dip.
Ready to take a dip as well, kids. I'm ready to jump in some fat waves too. They call it Big Wave Beach for a reason. I mean, look at those puppies.
Fat waves there were indeed, and we had a grand old time jumping around in them. Eventually, it was time to head back to the city, and after we cleaned up a bit, we set out for some late night grub for our last night in Hong Kong. We came across this awesome restaurant called Little Bao, known primarily for their modern take on the classic bun by fusing it into a sandwich, almost like a burger of sorts. We got a fat plate of truffle fries to share, and we each got our own bun. They are vegan friendly too for any of my vegan viewers out there. The restaurant was tiny and intimate, the food was incredible, especially this deep fried pistachio ice cream bao, and the vibes were immaculate. Without a doubt, a 10 out of 10 experience. I could not recommend it more. And as our time in this amazing city came to a close, we could not pass up the opportunity to soak in the lights one more time from the pool deck at the Four Seasons. As you can tell, this scene needs no commentary, so we'll just leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next. What's up, y'all? For anyone that is interested in learning more about the anomaly that is Hong Kong, I would highly recommend this book. It's called Indelible City by Louisa Lim. It explores this very complex history through the eyes of someone who grew up in Hong Kong and challenges the often conflicting narratives of this history that come from Great Britain and from China. I think it really localizes this ongoing story and gives a voice to the people of Hong Kong who are so often forgotten in these conversations. I personally found this to be very enlightening as I continue to learn about this very unique place. All right, that's all I got. See you in the next.